The ring sat heavy in my pocket, its velvet box pressing against my thigh like a secret I wasn't ready to share. I'd spent weeks choosing it, agonizing over every detail. The cut, the clarity, the way it caught the light like a promise. Tonight was supposed to be perfect. But as I stood outside our apartment, staring at the darkened windows, a gnawing unease twisted in my gut. Where was she? I pushed the key into the lock, the faint click echoing in the quiet hallway. The air inside was stale, untouched, as if the place had been holding its breath. "Lila!" I called, my voice softer than I meant it to be. No answer. The living room was empty, the couch cushions undisturbed, her usual clutter of books and coffee mugs nowhere in sight. My heart thudded, a dull rhythm that matched the ticking clock on the wall. It was past midnight, and she wasn't home. We'd been married 3 years, Lila and me. 3 years of late-night talks, shared dreams, and the kind of love that felt like it could outlast anything. Or so I thought. Lately, though, something had shifted. She'd been distant, her smiles fleeting, her eyes always somewhere else. I'd chalked it up to stress. Her new job at the gallery, the long hours, the pressure. I told myself I was being paranoid. But tonight, with the ring burning a hole in my pocket and her absence screaming louder than any words, I wasn't so sure. I sank onto the couch, the box in my hand now, its weight both a comfort and a curse. I'd planned to surprise her tonight, to take her back to the pier where we'd had our first date. I'd imagined her laugh, that soft, unguarded one she saved just for me, as I slipped the ring onto her finger, a renewal of vows, a reminder that we were still us. But the pier was a memory now, and so, it seemed, was she. My phone buzzed on the coffee table, a harsh vibration that snapped me out of my thoughts. A text from Lila, running late at the gallery. Big event. Don't wait up. My thumb hovered over the screen, the words blurring as my pulse quickened. The gallery had closed hours ago. I knew because I'd driven by earlier, hoping to catch her on her break, to steal a moment before the surprise. The lights had been off, the doors locked, the street empty. I typed a reply, deleted it, typed again. "Where are you really?" My finger hesitated over the send button. Instead, I dialed her number. It rang once, twice, then went to voicemail. Her voice, bright and warm, filled my ear. "Hey, it's Lila. Leave a message, and I'll call you back." The beep felt like a door slamming shut. I stood, pacing the small living room, my shoes scuffing against the hardwood. The ring box was back in my pocket, a tether to a plan that now felt foolish. I grabbed my keys and headed for the door. I didn't know where I was going, but I couldn't stay here, suffocating in the silence of her absence. The city was alive outside, a pulse of neon and noise that felt alien to the storm brewing inside me. I drove to the gallery first, the tires humming against the pavement as I scanned the street for her car. It wasn't there. I parked anyway, peering through the gallery's glass front, the shadows inside mocking me with their stillness. My breath fogged the window as I leaned closer, searching for something, anything, that would explain why she'd lied. My phone buzzed again. Another text, "Home soon." "Sorry." I stared at it, my chest tightening. Sorry. Such a small word for the weight it carried. I typed back, "Where are you?" This time I hit send. No response. I drove aimlessly after that, the city blurring past, bars with laughter spilling out, couples walking hand in hand, the world moving on while mine unraveled. I ended up at the pier, the place where I'd planned to give her the ring. The ocean was restless tonight, waves crashing against the pilings, their rhythm a mirror to my thoughts. I sat on a bench, the cold wood biting through my jeans, and pulled out the ring box. The diamond glinted under the streetlight, beautiful and cruel. "Daniel." A voice broke through the haze. I turned to see Mark, a friend from college, his face half lit by the glow of a nearby food truck. He was alone, his hands stuffed in his jacket pockets, his expression a mix of surprise and concern. "What are you doing out here, man? It's freezing." I forced a smile, slipping the ring box back into my pocket. "Just needed some air." "You." He shrugged, sitting beside me. "Same. Rough night." His eyes flicked to my hand, where my fingers were still curled around the invisible weight of the box. "You okay? You look like hell." I laughed, a hollow sound. "Lila's working late. Or so she says." Mark's brow furrowed. and something in his hesitation made my stomach drop. "What?" I asked, my voice sharper than I intended. He shifted, uncomfortable. "I saw her earlier. At the Blue Haven. She wasn't alone." The words hit like a punch, stealing my breath. The Blue Haven was a bar downtown, a place we'd gone to once or twice, but not her scene. Not our scene. Who was she with? I managed, my voice barely above a whisper. Mark looked away, his jaw tight. "Some guy." I didn't get a good look. They were in a booth close. I figured. "I don't know, man." I didn't want to assume. I stood, my legs unsteady, the world tilting beneath me. "Thanks for telling me," I said, though the words tasted like ash. I was already moving, my car keys biting into my palm as I headed back to the lot. The Blue Haven was a 10-minute drive, but it felt like hours. My mind raced, conjuring images I didn't want to see. Lila laughing with someone else, her hand on his arm, her eyes bright in a way they hadn't been with me in months. I parked across the street from the bar, the neon sign casting a blue glow over the pavement. Her car was there, tucked between a pickup and a sedan, its familiarity a knife in my chest. I didn't go inside. I couldn't. Instead, I waited, my hands gripping the steering wheel, my eyes fixed on the entrance. Every time the door opened, my heart lurched, expecting her. An hour passed, maybe more. The ring box was a lead weight in my pocket, a reminder of what I'd come to lose. Then I saw her. She stepped out, her hair catching the light, her laugh carrying across the street. She wasn't alone. The man beside her was tall, his face half hidden in the shadows, but the way he leaned toward her, the way her hand brushed his as they walked, told me everything. They stopped by her car, and for a moment, I thought she might see me. But she didn't. She was too caught up in him, in whatever this was. I should have gotten out. I should have confronted her, demanded answers, let the anger spill out. But all I could do was watch as she slid into her car, alone now, and drove away. The man walked off in the opposite direction, his silhouette fading into the night. I drove home in a daze, the ring box a silent accusation. When I walked into the apartment, Lila was there, sitting on the couch, her phone in her hand like nothing had happened. "Hey," she said, her voice light, too light. "You're back late." I stared at her, the woman I'd loved, the woman I'd bought a ring for. "Where were you?" I asked, my voice steady despite the storm inside. She blinked, her smile faltering. "I told you, the gallery. We had a thing." "Don't lie to me, Lila." The words came out harder than I meant, and her eyes widened, a flicker of something, guilt, crossing her face. "I'm not," she started, but I cut her off. "I saw you. At the Blue Haven. With him." The silence that followed was deafening. Her face crumpled, not in denial but in resignation. "Daniel, I didn't mean for you to find out like this." "Find out what?" I snapped, though I already knew. "That you're sneaking around? That you're—" My voice broke, and I hated myself for it. "Who is he?" She looked down, her hands twisting in her lap. "His name's Ethan. He's someone from work." "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I stepped closer, the ring box burning in my pocket. "Because it looked like you were pretty comfortable with him." Her eyes met mine, and for the first time, I saw the truth there, raw, unguarded. "I don't know," she whispered. "I've been lost, Daniel. I love you, but I've been, I don't know, searching for something. I didn't mean to hurt you." Her words were a blade, slicing through the last threads of hope I'd been clinging to. I pulled the ring box from my pocket, holding it out like an accusation. "I bought this for you. For us. I thought tonight would be—" I couldn't finish. The words stuck in my throat, choked by the weight of her betrayal. She stared at the box, tears welling in her eyes. "Oh, Daniel," she breathed, reaching for me. I stepped back, the box still in my hand. "Don't," I said, my voice barely audible. "Just don't." I turned and walked out, the ring box still in my fist, the night swallowing me whole. The pier was waiting, the waves still crashing, the ring still gleaming with promises that no longer held. I stood at the edge, the water dark and endless below, and let the box fall. It hit the surface with a soft splash, sinking into the depths, taking my heart with it.